Welcome back. It is 7:43. The month of May celebrates many things, including National Foster Care Month here in San Diego. So joining us now to talk more about that and foster care advocacy is Shane Harris, president of the People's Association of Justice Advocates.
How you doing?
Good morning, Shane.
Good morning, San Diego.
This is something obviously important to you, which we'll talk about, but you, along with Supervisor Jim Desmond, have declared it National Foster Care Month
in San Diego County.
Tell us why that's important.
Well, there are over 2,500 children in our county's foster care system, over 65,000 roughly in the state of California's foster care system, and over 365,000 nationwide, at least, children in the foster care system. What we're doing this month is we're declaring this month the Rise to Resilience Month. It's all about empowering foster youth to be a voice, right, for their community and be a voice for the changes that they want to see, right? Centering them in the policy discussion and really having a bigger discussion about the foster parents, the social workers, and all the people who help our youth who are trying to make a difference. There are some who don't make a difference, but there are some who do go above and beyond to ensure these kids' success, and we want to honor them as well this month.
What do you see as the biggest challenge for our foster youth right now? Is it that transition out of the system as an adult, or is it making sure they're placed in the right homes? Is it making sure they're supposed to be in foster care when perhaps they're not, or get out to be back with their, their parents, the biological parents? Mm-hmm. What do you see as the biggest challenge?
Well, obviously, there's a three-pronged approach that we're looking at this month when we're looking at the foster care system, and I'm going to talk a little bit later about what we're actually doing. But one is the exit of foster care. 1 in 4 foster youth go homeless. 1 in every 4 foster youth go homeless upon exiting the system. And it should not be that way, especially by a government that promised to keep these children safer than their biological families, that promised to help them. Like, you would never put your kid on a curb at 18 and say, hey, well, wish you the best.
Right.
So we have to address the foster care to homelessness pipeline. There are so many youth that are becoming a part of the general homeless population, and the government knows that these kids are going homeless, but they're doing less for them. We need more transitional housing programs. Cultural competency is number 2, right? We have a problem in the system, a leak, a problem that we've got to address. Black and brown and Native American children are disproportionately represented. I just looked at last year's numbers in the county of San Diego. There 10% of there were 638 new cases open. That means new children that came in. 10% of those cases were Native American children, and 19% were African American children. Both Black and Native American children and Latino children are just right in there. All those populations are lower in the general population, except for Black and Native American children. Black and Native American children are lower in the general population and large and overrepresented in the new cases open last year. So we have to double down and address the culturally competent issue and really look at prevention. How do we keep families together? The county touts this, but when I looked at those new numbers on the new cases open, it's showing the opposite. So we're working on that. And then finally, it's just the overall general consensus of how the system works, right? We need to move this system into a different process of prevention, right? And the county is going that way with the newly established Child and Family Department of Wellbeing Department. It's a new department that they formed, but we really need to focus in on prevention and how to keep families out of the cycle of instability in foster care.
Yeah, I know you've talked a lot about your experience and being in the foster care system at a young age after losing your parents. I think we have some photos.
There's my mom. That's my mom.
That you shared with us. It's really sweet.
And my mom and my dad.
But you lost both your parents, and you were in fully by the age of 8.
Yeah.
You would be considered a success story. How do we as a community support other foster youth to also be part of success stories?
Well, I came into foster care between 5 and 8, and then went in permanently at 8. My mom lost her rights after my dad died. She lost her rights because she had a drug issue. She didn't attend the parenting classes that she was required to attend, and there was a number of other issues. I always say that I'm an exception to the rule. Both of my parents died. I went through all the challenges you can think of, and God and my community helped raise me through all of that, and I found my way. For a lot of kids, that's not their story, and the best way that I can ask people to step up this month is support. This is the only organization that is led by a former foster youth in San Diego County that is actually working to advance policy changes. We have a number of ways you can support this month and going forward. On June 4th, Jim Desmond, the county supervisor, and I are partnering on a board letter that will support AB 2906, a state law that will ban the practice of the counties taking foster children survivor and disability benefits. That's been going on for decades. We are seeking to end that practice statewide. We ended it here in San Diego County 2 years ago, and so we're bringing forth a board letter on June 4th. We are having an advocacy day on June 4th, so we're asking the community and foster children and former foster youth to come out to the county administration building and advocate for the changes you want to see in the system. So we're having a big advocacy day. On May 30th, before this month closes out, Thursday, May 30th, we're holding a foster youth policy think tank, Reimagining Foster Care. And that policy think tank is going to be held on May 30th from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. It's a free breakfast, and we're inviting the community out because we're going to be think tanking, looking at the issues of child welfare and how we can improve the system. So PAJA, the People's Association of Justice Advocates, the organization that I lead, is very active on the front lines, and we're asking you to just step up and join us. Make a donation today at pajmovement.org and sign up to volunteer. Sign up for our email list. You can get involved in this organization, which is leading the policy changes and all that. And follow me on @ShaneHarrisNow on Instagram as well. You know, we're going to be posting a lot and talking a lot about these issues. So, yeah.
Right. Shane, thank you, and thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Stay with us.